If you've ever caught yourself scrolling through your phone instead of doing the one of 10 things on your to-do list that you know is going to take you to that next level of progression in your life, well, I'm here to tell you it's because your brain is playing this dirty little trick on you. And in this video, I'm going to show you what that trick is and how to fix your brain so that you stop procrastinating and start being able to actually do the things that you know is going to help you get to that next stage in life. See, for years, I thought all of these highly successful people like your Musks and your Bezos and your Zuckerbergs, I thought they were all born with this like innate ability to just get up and smash through a to-do list without any hesitation or any feeling of procrastination or the fact that they didn't want to do it. I used to look at my own habits and I'd be like, fuck, this is why I'm never going to make it, because I've only got 2 things that I really need to do to actually progress me to the next stage, but I just don't do it. I put things off for days, whether it's outreach or writing that email that I needed to write or making that ad or writing that landing page, whatever the task is. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'll put it off till tomorrow. I'll do it in a few hours. I'll do this first. I'll watch this YouTube video. I end up scrolling on Instagram. And that's just what happens. But I started hanging around some other highly successful people doing 100K a month, 500K a month, millions a month in some cases. And what I learned was they're no different. Everyone gets that feeling of, fuck, I don't really want to do this. Everyone gets that feeling, but it's how they respond to that feeling that actually determines whether or not they do those tasks. So let me explain. This is going to sound very simple. Your brain is hardwired to avoid discomfort. That's not any type of like unique character flaw that's just unique to you. Everyone experiences that. It's literally how neurochemistry works. You see, when you're faced with some sort of task that sounds challenging, the outcome is uncertain or it's just boring, your brain is just going to go into this like, it's your limbic system, and that's like your emotional brain. It basically fires up and it's like, whoa, 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 this is fucking far too hard. Let's go and watch some YouTube videos, let's scroll on Instagram, or let's just do something easier. And then what happens is it triggers what neuroscientists call reward prediction error, which is basically when your brain is going to overvalue the procrastinating task, like scrolling on Instagram or watching a YouTube video, and it massively undervalues the task that's going to help you, like doing outreach or making ads or writing that landing page, whatever it may be. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In these studies, they actually found out that the perceived level of dread towards a task was completely disproportionate to how they actually felt when they started that task. That's why like the advice of, you know, just do it for 5 minutes actually helps a lot, because after that 5 minutes, you realize, fuck, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. A good way to explain this simply is like, for someone who doesn't regularly go to the gym, the thought of going to the gym sounds horrific. They're like, I couldn't think of anything worse. But when they get there, 5-10 minutes in, they're like, oh, this isn't actually too bad. That's the exact system firing in their brain. So in very simple terms, your brain is lying to you about how hard the task is going to be. And I learned all of this the very hard way. Like, I went through periods in my business where I couldn't think of anything worse than opening the laptop and doing outreach, or writing landing pages, or doing anything related to work. I'd got into this really bad habit. And I ended up reading a few books on like procrastination. That's where I learned all this stuff. But the thing that changed, and this is going to sound like bad advice, but it's just start. So anything that level of dread popped up and I was like, oh fuck, I really don't want to do this. What I would do is I would say to myself, right, I'm just going to do it for 5 minutes. I'm just going to do it for 10 minutes. And then after doing it for 5 or 10 minutes, I would realize, why was I fucking dreading this? It's not even that bad. It's actually quite fun. I'm actually going to get into it. And it's never as difficult as my procrastinating brain made it out to me. And then the feeling of actually completing that hard task that I'd been putting off for so long was so much better, and the level of dopamine that I got from doing that was so much better than like the fake dopamine that you get from watching YouTube videos or scrolling on Instagram. And this next part is really interesting, because the more that you do that, the more that you choose to just start, you actually rewire those neural pathways. So that trigger that used to fire off and say, fuck, I don't want to do this, Every single time that you just start, number one, you realise that the anticipation of the dread of that task wasn't actually as bad as doing the task. And number two, you realise that the reward of completion is a lot better than the reward of procrastinating it. Every single time that you do that, you're training your brain like a muscle. It's like going to the gym again. That's why when people have gone to the gym for 2 years in a row every single day, they don't dread it. They don't get that level of dread where they're like, oh fuck, do I actually have to go? They just get up and go because they realise that their brain is playing a trick on them and it's not as hard as their brain makes out. And essentially you end up reprogramming your brain to understand that procrastinating something is worse than actually just doing the task. And it gets like deeply ingrained in those neural pathways. And psychologists call this exposure therapy. Now, I'm not talking about like gay ice baths. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about repeatedly exposing yourself to the thing that you're either scared to do or you just feel like is going to be hard. And the more times that you actually do it, the easier it becomes in the long run. And that's what I've gotten to now. Like I went from, fuck, I can't be bothered to do anything, to I can just get up and do the tasks that I need to do without any type of hesitation like I did before. I don't put things off for days anymore. If something needs done, I can do it that day. And as a result, I've made more money. I've been able to sleep better at night because I know that all my tasks are done. And basically every single part of my life has gotten better from stopping procrastination. Now, am I saying that it's going to be easy? No, it's still going to be hard. But you just need to think, if you can do that for... The first part to start is, I'm just going to do this for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just going to do it for 5 or 10 minutes. And then when you actually get into the task, you realise, fuck, this isn't actually too bad. And then you do that over a day, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, turns into 6 months, turns into a year, and then you become the person that no longer procrastinates, you just get shit done. And I think this is a problem that a lot of people have, is because their neural pathways are all fucked up and you just think that the task that's going to get you to where you want to get is so much harder than it actually is. And the more that you just start doing the task, the easier it gets in the end. So the next time that you're putting something off and your brain's going, fuck, do we really have to do that? Just remember that your brain is lying to you and it's not going to be as hard doing the task as you think it is in your head. And the only way to prove your brain wrong and start reprogramming it is to actually just start doing the task, but you start off small. So go and try that and let me know in the comments how you get on with it. A little bit of a different video today, but yeah, let me know if you want me to do more like this and hit the subscribe button, get on the newsletter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.